What would you do if the person you loved, the one you built a life with, was secretly plotting your murder? Robert and Maria Marshall had it all: wealth, status, and a picture-perfect life in suburban New Jersey. But behind the polished facade, Robert had a deadly secret. Welcome to Tales from the Couch. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tales on the Couch. I'm your host, Dr. Heather Wisdom, and today we have another shocking case, one that combines greed, deception, and cold-blooded murder. We're talking about Robert and Maria Marshall, a seemingly perfect, wealthy suburban couple whose lives took a deadly turn when Robert decided his wife was worth more dead than alive. Let's get started. Before the crime, before the betrayal, before the headlines, there was a love story, or at least that's how it started. Robert Marshall and Maria Marshall seemed like the perfect suburban couple. But where did they come from? How did their lives intertwine before it all fell apart? Let's take a step back and look at their beginnings. Robert Marshall was born in 1939 and grew up in a middle-class family in New Jersey. He was raised with traditional values, taught the importance of hard work and ambition. Always striving for success, Robert was driven, charismatic, and eager to climb the social ladder. He attended Villanova University, a prestigious Catholic university, where he studied business and finance. After college, he quickly built a career in insurance and financial planning, becoming a well-known broker in the area. Robert had a personality that commanded attention. He was confident, successful, and people naturally gravitated toward him. But Robert wasn't just ambitious in his career. He was also looking for the perfect wife to match his picture-perfect future. Enter Maria Marshall, the beautiful, devoted wife. Maria P. Marshall, née Pacciotti, was born in 1940 and grew up in Shamokin, Pennsylvania, a tight-knit, conservative town. She was raised in a deeply religious, traditional Italian family, where family values and loyalty were everything. Maria was beautiful, kind-hearted, and devoted to those she loved, the classic example of the perfect wife and mother. She was smart and well-educated, attending a Catholic school and later working as a homemaker and volunteer. While she wasn't ambitious in the way Robert was, she had one main goal in life: to have a happy family and be a loving wife and mother. Maria embodied grace, elegance, and selflessness, everything Robert was looking for in a wife. Their marriage quickly blossomed into the ideal American dream. On the surface, Robert and Maria Marshall had it all. They were a wealthy, respected couple living in Toms River, New Jersey. Robert was a successful insurance broker, bringing in a six-figure salary, which, in the early 1980s, meant they were living large. Maria was a devoted wife and mother, raising their three sons, Robbie, Chris, and John, while maintaining their picture-perfect suburban life. They had country club memberships, lavish vacations, and a beautiful home, the kind of life that makes people jealous. But behind closed doors, it was all starting to fall apart. Robert was living beyond his means. The big house, the cars, the vacations, it was all catching up to him. As the cracks in Robert and Maria Marshall's marriage deepened, Robert wasn't just looking for a way out. He was looking for someone else to fill the void. Enter Judith Judy Tobin, the woman who would become the catalyst for Robert's deadly scheme. Judith Ann Tobin was a woman from New Jersey who lived a much quieter, low-profile life compared to the Marshalls' country club lifestyle. She was described as attractive, sophisticated, and intelligent, though not wealthy like Maria. Unlike Maria, who was dedicated to family life, Judy was independent and adventurous, which attracted Robert. Their affair began well before Maria's murder, and Robert fell hard for Judy. Judy may not have known about Robert's full financial struggles. She believed his lies, that he was stuck in an unhappy marriage, that he couldn't divorce Maria because of money, and that they would soon be together, no matter what. Robert did not hide his infatuation with Judy, telling his friends he wanted to marry her. He knew that a divorce would be expensive, and he was already struggling financially. Instead of ending his marriage the right way, he decided murder was the better option. In 1984, he took out $1.5 million in life insurance policies on Maria, ensuring that her death would solve all his problems, financial and romantic, and just a few months later, she was dead. On September 7, 1984, Robert and Maria were driving back from an Atlantic City casino trip, supposedly a romantic getaway. It was after midnight when Robert pulled their Cadillac over at a dark rest stop on the Garden State Parkway, claiming he had a flat tire. What happened next was nothing short of an execution. Robert claimed that two men attacked them, knocked him unconscious, and killed Maria execution style with a single gunshot to the head. When police arrived, they found Maria dead in the passenger seat. Robert? He was dazed but unharmed, claiming to have been knocked out and robbed. At first it looked like a random highway murder, but as investigators dug deeper, things didn't add up. Something about Robert's version of events felt off to detectives, leading to their suspicions. There was no evidence of a struggle. If Robert had truly been knocked out, why was there no bruising or head injury? His behavior was also bizarre. Instead of being devastated over his wife's murder, he remained calm, collected, and oddly unemotional. Additionally, the life insurance policies presented a major red flag with a $1.5 million payout that seemed far too convenient. Investigators uncovered that Robert was in serious debt, something Maria didn't even know about, further raising concerns. Then, the biggest bombshell dropped. Detectives discovered that Robert Marshall had hired a hitman to kill his wife. The breakthrough in the case emerged when police traced Robert's shady dealings, discovering his involvement with Billy Wayne McKinnon, a known criminal and hitman fixer based in Louisiana. A snitch revealed crucial information, stating that Robert had paid $65,000 to have Maria killed. This hit had been meticulously planned, with Robert providing detailed instructions on how and when to execute the crime. The hitman chose the perfect moment, waiting for Maria to be alone in her car late at night in a secluded area, highlighting the cold, calculated nature of Robert's intentions. His motives were clear. He wanted to avoid a messy divorce, pocket the insurance payout, be free to pursue his mistress, and maintain his social status and wealth. However, despite his careful planning, Robert's scheme quickly unraveled. In 1986, Robert Marshall was arrested and charged with capital murder in what became one of the biggest trials in New Jersey history, attracting significant media attention. Prosecutors presented compelling evidence, including Marshall's financial struggles, insurance policies, and connections to a hitman. His sons, notably his eldest son Robbie, testified against him, expressing their belief in their father's guilt. Ultimately, the jury rejected Robert's claims of innocence, and he was convicted of first-degree murder, receiving a death sentence. For nearly 2 decades, he remained on death row, continuously filing appeals to overturn his conviction. In 2004, his death sentence was commuted to life in prison, but he was barred from parole until 2014. Robert Marshall passed away in 2015 at the age of 75 in Southwood State Prison, never fully acknowledging his crime. This case fascinated the public for years. Joe McGinnis's book Blind Faith became a bestseller, chronicling the Marshall family's downfall, the trial, and the devastating impact on their sons. The story was later turned into a TV miniseries starring Robert Urich, cementing it as one of the most infamous cases of murder for money in American history. But beyond the headlines and Hollywood adaptation is the real tragedy. Maria Marshall, a loving mother, was killed by the very man who was supposed to protect her. The story of Robert and Maria Marshall is a chilling reminder of how greed can destroy lives. Instead of choosing divorce, Robert chose murder, and in doing so, he not only took Maria's life, but ruined his children's lives as well. Maria's sons had to live with the trauma of knowing their father was behind their mother's death, a betrayal that no amount of money could ever justify. If this case teaches us anything, it's this. Money is never worth a life. Greed can drive people to unthinkable actions. Justice always catches up in the end. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did like it, subscribe and don't forget my other podcast, The Wisdom of Sex, a podcast all about relationships. And my latest book is available on Amazon, Messy Mind, Brilliant Life. If you struggle with ADHD, this book is for you. It's easy to read and has lots of tips and strategies to help you make ADHD your superpower. Well, that's it for me. Until next time, stay safe, trust your instincts, and as always, stay wise.